Welcome back to Hidden Wisdom Academy Biology. Today, we start learning about connective tissue, the tissue that holds our body together. It supports organs, connects tissues, protects the body, stores energy, and helps in transport. By the end of this lecture, you'll understand types, structure, cells, fibers, and functions of connective tissue, all in a simple, exam-friendly way. Also, don't miss our daily biology podcast for quick revision. Let's dive in and see how connective tissue keeps the body strong and working. As always, in this slide you can see the syllabus and PYQ topics with their years, so you get to know what to expect in your exams. Now that we know what connective tissue does, let's see what it's made of. Unlike epithelial tissue, the cells in connective tissue are spread out in a matrix, a jelly-like material that gives strength and flexibility. Every connective tissue has three main parts, that is cells, fibers, and ground substance. The cells include fibroblasts, which build fibers and matrix, adipocytes, which store fat, macrophages, which defend by eating germs, mast cells, which release histamine during inflammation, plasma cells, which make antibodies. The fibers are of three types: collagen fibers, which give strength, elastic fibers, which allow stretch, reticular fibers, which give soft support. All these are embedded in the ground substance, which fills the spaces between cells and fibers. Together, they make a strong and flexible tissue that supports, connects, and protects every part of your body from bones to blood. Now let's see the types of connective tissue, based on structure and function. First, loose connective tissue. It's soft and flexible, it works like the body's packing material. Examples: areolar tissue, fills spaces and supports organs, and adipose tissue, stores fat and keeps the body warm. Second, dense connective tissue. Here, fibers are tightly packed for strength. If fibers run parallel, it's dense regular, like in tendons and ligaments. If fibers are irregular, it's dense irregular, like in the skin's dermis. Third, skeletal connective tissue. It supports and gives shape to the body. Includes cartilage, flexible, and bone, hard and strong. Finally, fluid connective tissue. This includes blood and lymph, which transport oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells. So, from giving strength and support to carrying oxygen, connective tissue is everywhere, keeping your body strong and working properly. Now let's look at the first type of connective tissue. Loose connective tissue, which includes areolar and adipose tissues. First is areolar tissue. It's the body's natural packing material. Found below the skin, around organs, and blood vessels. It has fibroblasts, make fibers, macrophages, fight germs, and mast cells, release histamine during inflammation. Because of its soft, gel-like matrix, it gives support, flexibility, and fills spaces. That's why it's called the packing tissue of the body. Next is adipose tissue. Made of fat cells called adipocytes. It stores fat, cushions organs like kidneys and heart, keeps the body warm, and stores energy. There are two types: white adipose tissue, which stores energy. Brown adipose tissue, which produces heat, especially in newborns. So, areolar tissue holds everything in place, while adipose tissue protects and warms your body. Now let's talk about specialized connective tissues: cartilage, bone, and blood. Cartilage is flexible but strong. It has living cells called chondrocyte, which sit in small spaces called lacunae. There are three types of cartilage, such as hyaline, elastic, and fibrous, each giving support and shape to different body parts. Bone is the hardest connective tissue because its matrix has calcium phosphate. Its cells, called osteocytes, are arranged around Haversian canals that help in strength and nourishment. Blood is a fluid connective tissue that keeps flowing through the body. It carries oxygen, nutrients, and hormones, and also protects us using immune cells and clotting. So, cartilage gives flexibility, bone gives strength, and blood keeps everything connected and alive. Let's quickly summarize connective tissues. They are of three main types that are loose, dense, and specialized. Loose tissues like areolar and adipose help in connection and cushioning. Dense tissues like tendons and ligaments give strength and support. Specialized tissues like cartilage, bone, and blood help in support, protection, and transport. To remember easily, here are the mnemonics. Lucy doesn't sing beautifully for the three types of connective tissue. Happy elephants fight for cartilage types. And fat fibers can bind for the main cell types. Keep these short tricks handy for your quick revision. Comment if you have any mnemonic that you use to remember it. Let's practice few questions to test your knowledge. Let's start with question 1. Which connective tissue forms the structural framework of tendons and ligaments? Option A. Areolar tissue. Option B. Dense regular connective tissue. Option C. Adipose tissue. Option D. Hyaline cartilage. Explanation. Areolar tissue is loose and flexible, supports organs but isn't strong like tendons. Dense regular connective tissue has collagen fibers in parallel give high strength, found in tendons, muscle to bone, and ligaments, bone to bone. Adipose tissue stores fat, cushions and protects organs. Hyaline cartilage is a flexible support for structures like nose and trachea, not very strong for pulling forces. So, option B is the correct answer, that is dense regular connective tissue forms the structural framework of tendons and ligaments. Now, let's move to question 2. Which connective tissue stores fat and provides insulation to the body? Option A. Areolar tissue. Option B. Dense connective tissue. Option C. Adipose tissue. Option D. Blood. Explanation. Areolar tissue binds and supports organs but doesn't store much fat. Dense connective tissue gives strength, not for energy storage. Adipose tissue stores fat, cushions organs, and insulates the body. White adipose stores energy. Brown adipose generates heat. Blood transports nutrients and cells but doesn't store fat. So, option C is the correct answer, that adipose tissue stores fat and provides insulation to the body. Before we finish, let's fix common mistakes about connective tissue. First, don't mix up loose and dense tissue. Areolar is soft and flexible, while dense regular tissue is strong, like in tendons and ligaments. Second, know your cartilage types. Hyaline is smooth, elastic is springy, and fibrous absorbs shock. Third, remember bone is living tissue, with osteocytes and lacunae and the Haversian system. Fourth, blood is also connective tissue because cells float in plasma. Finally, distinguish white and brown fat. White stores energy, brown produces heat. Keep these points in mind, and practicing questions on connective tissue will be easier. That's it for this lecture on connective tissue, the framework that supports and protects your body. Next, we'll explore muscular and nervous tissue, the tissues that help your body move and respond. We'll cover skeletal, cardiac, and smooth muscles, voluntary and involuntary actions, and how neurons and neuroglia transmit signals. Also, don't miss our daily NEET MCQs and PYQs for daily revision. See you in the next lecture.